Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Virtual Indigenous Arts Hub, brought to you by Punctuate Theatre and Dreamspeakers. My name is Rebecca Sadowski. I'm a Métis dance and theatre artist based here in Edmonton, and I'm also an artistic associate of Punctuate Theatre. Today, I have the privilege of sitting down and chatting with Tai Amy Grauman. Tai is a Métis, Cree and Haudenosaunee actor, playwright, and emerging director. Tai recently received the Métis Nation of Alberta's Award for Outstanding Youth of 2020 for the work she's doing to unravel stories of Métis women in Treaty 6. Tai is an artistic associate of Savage Society, through which she has been developing her play, You Used to Call Me Marie. She has worked as an actor with the Grand Theatre, Arts Club, and Savage Society. She has also directed for Speakeasy Theatre and has assistant directed for Bard on the Beach. So Tai, thank you so much for joining us here today on the Virtual Indigenous Artist Hub.
It's Monday today, and just over the weekend coming into today, there's been a massive shift from grief to what can we do. There's been a month of like, oh my God, this is so horrible, we've lost everything. And just waking up today and looking at my email, there's been a really promising shift of like, can you write something for this? Can you talk to me about this? Do you have anything for this? So starting today, I'm doing better. I mean, I was supposed to spend the whole month of April in Banff with my play, Used to Call Me Marie. I was in the Indigenous Playwright Circle and the Banff Playwrights Lab. And I was going to Banff with my language teacher, Graham Andrews, and we were just going to work on Michif. One of the bigger things I lost was I was supposed to write and co-direct a piece, a community piece with the Métis community in Drayton Valley. So every year, annually, I work a lot with Savage Society. I'm an artistic associate there and one of their artists. And every year we do this Songs of the Land project where we go to, Kevin Loring's the artistic director of Savage Society. So we go to Lytton and we create a show with his community. And what was really cool is like, I was doing that with one of my communities.
Yeah.
I feel like I had grown it up a bit and I was like leading my own. And so that was supposed to be in July. And of course that's been canceled. I've written this play called Used to Call Me Marie, which has like music, dance, language. It's just this big historical epic told through a love story. And it has really taken off. I've been writing it for 3 years. So that means I had other commissions I was really horribly behind on. So I'm catching up on those essentially. I'm like into a first draft of a play that's commissioned by Nightswimming called Wiwimaw. And Wiwimaw, You Used to Call Me Marie is a love story. So it's Squayo and Napu, and there's a magical pony created with dancers. And it's a love story that starts in creation and ends in the present. And it's essentially 8 stories that are interwoven. And the whole idea is that these people keep being reincarnated together and falling in love at different moments in history. So inevitably, because of the time, I wanted to write a love story first, but it's become a historical story as a consequence because I'm a Callahoo. So that means that my family has been a part of like the Métis Resistance in Alberta for as long as it existed. So that story is about like the really epic couples in my family. And it's really exciting and flashy, and like there's wedding dresses that descend from the sky and everything. And it's wow. Like my dream come true.
Yeah.
So what Wiwimaw is, but of course I don't have time to say everything in that play because Métis women, for like as long as we've existed as Métis women and Cree women as well, we've been leaders, but silent leaders and unseen leaders. So, and our men have leaded. And so Wiwimaw is about the woman at home who are the wives of the big leaders.
Yeah.
And how they existed and what they had to deal with and the sacrifices they had to make for their people and the way they loved their men despite all odds, because I don't know about you, but I mean, the most incredible, loving women I know are all Métis women. So Wiwimaw is about the woman who stayed home while their men fought the good fight, and they fought the good fight at home, and they kept their people alive and raised their daughters to be leaders too, and raised their children. So that's the play I'm writing now, which is like this weird, it's like all the things I couldn't say and used to call me Marie.
Your play, You Used to Call Me Marie, you said you've been writing it for over 3 years. Can you tell me a bit more about the origins and the inspiration for you at the start of that?
It's about the resentment and pain I was carrying towards our men. It's a crazy story. I was backstage. I was in this really incredible play called Thanks for Giving. As soon as I graduated, Margo Kane was playing my grandma and Andrea Menard was playing my mom. And they're still really important. They're both really important people with my life. Still really close with them. I talked to them both on the phone on Friday. And I was talking about men and the impact men had had on the woman in my family. Mm-hmm. And they were essentially like, well, Tai, you need to figure this out. And you need to figure out why you're carrying all this pain.
Yeah.
And all this resentment towards our men. And they're like, why don't you? And at the same time, a commission had fallen into my lap and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Right.
And they were like, well, I think you need to write this. Like, and I was like, but if I were to write this, I'd want to write a love story. I wouldn't want to write about the bad stuff. I want to write about the good stuff. Like I want to write about, I'm going to marry you tomorrow kind of shit. And they were like, well, write that. And then after writing this play, during writing this play, I kind of realized that I cared so much because I love our men so much.
Right.
And that's not an obvious answer about that play because that play will go up and it'll be a beautiful historical love story. And it'll make people, there's a lot of weddings, like it's a very joyful story. But I think for me as a Métis woman writing that play and other Métis women who encounter that play, that's what that play is about for us. Mm-hmm. Is like we want our men because we love them and we forgive them for what's happened. Métis women have carried a lot for our men to be leaders and successful and politicians and fight the good fight. And the women have made sacrifices to make that happen.
Yeah, and this accessibility to be so honest. And, you know, what you're saying, it relates to me and my grandma and her struggles and her hardships and wanting so badly to be seen as white and so badly wanting to, you know, just be able to provide. And anyway, so that really speaks to me and my family too.
I think not even artists, but as Indigenous people, this is a really scary time for our communities.
Yeah.
And because our most precious people that we all need to reclaim what we've lost. And like, this isn't about theater. This is bigger than theater, but like,
totally.
Our language keepers, our like knowledge keepers, those people are all at risk. So like, especially at risk in this pandemic. So not even as an artist, but just as an Indigenous woman, that's the scary part for me.
Do you have any ideas about when this surpasses, what ideas or sentiments we can hold on to?
Once this passes, I'll spend more time with those people. Because now that I can't, I mean, I can call people, but it's just not the same, right?
Yeah.
So that they're not accessible and there, I want to use my time wisely. And I don't want to just do plays for the sake of doing plays. I want to spend more time with the people and a bit less time in the hustle. Tarragon is my mentor, and she's like one of my favorite playwrights ever. And also my mentor, Kevin Loring. Those are the two playwrights that really, and I've been in both their plays and both times it was incredible.
It's so wonderful to talk to you. Honestly, you just are You're so wise and you're just so strong. I feel so grateful. On behalf of Punctuate Theatre and Dreamspeakers, thank you all so much for tuning in. And we'd also like to thank our funders, who without them, this project would not be possible. Please make sure to check out the other videos that we're creating and the different artists that we're highlighting in this series. Bye for now.